Welcome to OSM, Operation Safe Mode. Peace be with you. I know it's been a while since I've sent out a video, and so this video I wanted to cover certain things so that I can have you updated in what's been taking place in my life. First, I want to be able to give you a health update and then some information on my new assignment that I've received. And finally, to express to everybody in Thanksgiving for being faithful to OSM over these past years, as this will be my last broadcast live. If you're receiving this video, YouTube video, via a text message today, it's because you have been the ones who have been texting me throughout the last couple months. Those of you who have been my intimate friends and friends over the last years of sharing our lives, our sufferings as well as our joys. So it's a very limited list of people who are on this new flock note, if you will, this text messaging. The reason why I went this direction was that on an occasion within a week's time I would receive over 60 text messages from you, saying hello and checking up on me. Many of you have sent cards to me throughout the period of time, so it's just going to be easier for me to answer things or keep you up to date, especially with my health and where I am with my assignment, and that way it's simpler for me just to send out a group text message. So what does that mean? It means that I will not be sending out videos. I will just be giving information about what's happening and sharing on occasion, seasonally, some links back to the OSMs that are out there. They will always be out there, the YouTube videos, so they can always be watched at any time that we would like. As I mentioned, I'm sorry that it's been a while since my last health update. Actually, it's been since August 1st, and I apologize for that. Since August 1st, I've had 6 treatments and 1 CT scan. The CT scan, compared to the one that was taken in April, showed no significant change in the tumor that is on the pancreas. Nothing showing up in the liver, and the size hasn't changed, hasn't decreased or increased in size. So what does that mean? Well, it can mean several different things. First, since we're not seeing anything in the liver, then we know it's still contained just in that one tumor. Because my numbers, my CA numbers have climbed slowly, but have climbed since my last report to you. My numbers have gone from 5.2 to 11.2. Small increments, but my doctor is now becoming concerned because this is the first time ever since I've been actually on chemo that my numbers increased. When I would start chemo, the numbers were, as you know, were out of whack, completely high. And they've decreased. But this is the first time in my treatment that the numbers are increasing by very small increments, but it is causing some concern. So my next scan will be next week, November 1st. And this scan hopefully will tell us where we are in regards to treatment. If the tumor on the pancreas doesn't change in size, then we know that it's not growing, but we do have to address the fact that there must be some activity going on there. So what we'll do is continue with the same regimen that I'm on, keeping close track of the numbers. If they keep increasing, then I will be able to have a PET scan scheduled so that we can see where this activity is. At that time, then, we might have to change treatment. As you know, I went off oxaliplatin, which is the most powerful of the, because I could no longer make platelets. in this period of time, been off oxaliplatin, just focusing on the other 2 chemos, I've been able to build platelets on my own. My bone marrow is recovering, and that's a good sign, because if we have to go back to oxaliplatin, then we can do that until I can't make the platelets, and then that would be a whole different ball game. But we're not going to go there or worry about that. So for right now, just continue your prayers if you've been praying for me. The outpour of prayer for me has always been what I count on, and the miraculous grace and the intercession of St. Peregrine and all the wonderful saints we pray to. So I will keep you posted, and I will keep you posted based on the text message system that I have. I will just give you a text and let you know what's happening and what is the next step, because I know you do truly want to keep track of that with me. And I appreciate that concern and the prayers that follow. I wanted to share with you a little bit about my new assignment. My new assignment is going to give me the best opportunity to more extraneously focus on my health, as you see that it's becoming a little bit more difficult for me without going on a medical leave. This assignment is a perfect scenario for what I'm going through. To be able to tend to the needs of my treatments, my doctor's appointments, time for recovery, and then being able to assist as help to the parishes in New Kensington and Lower Borough. As you may know, that I have been assigned to Father Ken Zaccanini, who throughout this whole time has been, in contact with me and praying for me, and I know that he understands firsthand what it means to go through chemotherapy. His mother went through chemotherapy with her cancer for 7 years, and he was a primary caregiver for her. And he saw her days, weekdays, difficult days, the struggles, and how much focus it takes. And he understands that, especially now as I'm further advanced in my battle with cancer. He wanted to make sure that I knew that that was his priority for me, to be able to get back into ministry, but yet to focus on my health and to enjoy the opportunities that the parishes will give me in this assignment. So I want to first start just by thanking Father Ken for taking me on, to allow me to have those time for treatments, but yet at the same time, because I'll be doing pastoral supply to the parishes, I'm not taking a priest's place. They have 3 priests. I'll be just an added opportunity for sacraments to help out, and on my good days. And I will also be able to do some teaching. Father Ken is pleased that I would like to share some things with the parish, so that'll be upcoming in December for Advent, so I'm excited about that. What's important here with this assignment is that I'm back into ministry, and I'll be able to share at the altar, in the confessional, and in many various ways, but without the responsibilities and concerns that stress doesn't truly play well with my condition. So I'm very happy with this opportunity. My assignment, if you don't know, is to Father Ken, and I'll be pastoral supply to the parishes of St. Margaret Mary's in Lower Borough, which is my home parish, St. Peter's, St. Joseph's, and St. Mary's Czestochowa in New Kensington, and it will be at the Rectory of St. Mary's Czestochowa. I'll be taking up residence and be able to be available for pastoral supply in any way that the church and churches need me to do so. It's kind of an interesting change in direction to I'll go back to where I started as a child, the churches that were a part of my life because of my grandparents' involvement in the different churches, my parents and my grandmother involved in the different churches. So it's going to be interesting. It'll be a challenge in a different way, but the most important thing is my health is the number one concern, and also the reality of being able to really truly focus on my health and be able to be available for the sacramental needs of the parishes is such a blessing. So I am ready to start that assignment. It will be next week. The beginning date would be October 23rd. So my first weekend in Masses would be that following Sunday. Since the time I was a child, there has always been a controversy between saying goodbye to someone or saying so long to them. This was one of my mother's pet peeves, if you will. It was one of her spiritual concerns. When people say goodbye to somebody, it's as if we're ending a relationship. We're saying goodbye as if they're leaving our lives and won't be participating in them anymore. She always hated to say goodbye, especially when someone was traveling back home, far from us. So she always said, don't say goodbye, say so long. What she meant by that was to say so long until we see each other again. The length of that time period could be a day, could be a month, it could be a year, but you know that they're still going to be a part of your daily life in prayer and thought, and a part of your life because of the friendships and the intimacy of who they were. My mother always felt that this was important for us because lives change, circumstances change. She watched her brothers and sisters move out of the area and be further away from her than she would have liked. But there was no sense of saying goodbye because they were always going to be a part of her life. So to say so long meant that God was going to continue to allow us to journey together. I share that with you because under normal circumstances, we would have had a gathering to, if you will maybe, look at it as an opportunity to thank each other for sharing in our lives. And a lot of people call it closure, but closure to me sounds more like goodbye than so long. And so in the absence of having such a reception, I say so long. I know how much you love me and how much we shared together in our lives, and you know how much I love you. And so a reception is really not necessary for the purpose of closure or of saying goodbye, because I know and I trust that you will continue to be a part of my life, and I will be a part of your life, sharing the journeys of suffering and celebrations that we've had, sharing in the hopes and dreams of good health and friendships that will survive. But more so, we say so long because my path moves in a different direction, but it is not one that's going to be separate from you or a difficult opportunity for us to gather, see each other, especially to come visit me at Mass. So, as Mom would say, we're not saying goodbye because our lives are so intertwined that we'll say so long until we meet again, until we have the opportunity to laugh and share in the things that make us who we are. But we'll always be walking this journey together, this wonderful journey of faith. Remembering always that the Eucharist is the source and summit of that journey. That Jesus nurtures us, feeds us, and leads us. And at any time, you can always text me to say hello or share an update on the kids and the things that are happening and be sure that I will respond to you. So, in my mother's greatest wisdom, I say so long to all of you with great love. As our journeys continue, separate paths for a while, until those paths meet again, when God calls us to His heavenly kingdom. Operation Safe Mode, signing off. As I take on this new assignment, I thought it was a good time to end OSM with this last video that I'm sharing with you today. OSM was created on March 19th in honor of the Feast of St. Joseph as we entered into the COVID era. In a time that we were going to be separated from each other, the videos were to keep us engaged, to celebrate the best that we could via the videos, Sacred Mass, for me to share my thoughts and even some teachings, some really funny anecdotes and opportunities to stay close in the hardest times. The very first video that we put out, 2.1 thousand views that day, because none of us knew what was coming our way. All of us knew how important community was. And I thought, Operation Safe Mode, we move in that safe mode, operate that way until we would return to each other. And then as we return to each other, continue to use it to give updates on parish information and share things with you. But on July 12th, when I made my first video that would be announcing my stage 4 pancreatic cancer and terminal illness, I wanted to use it for physical updates so you could hear directly from me what was taking place, and also to give you a spiritual update to allow you to know where I was trying to accept this new path. On that very first video, over 8,000 views that time when I announced my illness. And that in and of itself shows me and reminds me of how many people have been praying for me in the past couple years here, going through all this cancer. I made friends from all across the world. Many people on the same journey with me, looking forward to sharing not only my health update, but hopefully learning something from the spiritual updates. Those videos are all out there. If you find someone who is struggling with cancer, you may point their direction so that they can share in the journey with me, and I will continue to do so spiritually with them. In those years, 4 years of our time on OSM, we've had over 500,000 views. We've made over 600 videos, and we've had nearly 2,500 people subscribe. It served the purpose of my ministry at the time, and I'm glad to say that I had the opportunity to use multimedia in these years through difficult times. I will, though, on my text messages, that those of you who've been text messaging me, my closest and dearest friends, on occasion I'll send out a link to one of the videos seasonally to just remind us of some of the things that we taught and shared in preparation for Advent or Lent, and even some of the funny anecdotes that we did with the OSM quizzes. Just to keep us reminding of the things that we've done in the past, but allowing ourselves to move forward where God is calling us. So before I sign off, I want to send out some thank yous. Thank you to all of you, the viewers. Thank you because you viewed so you could pray with me, for me, and that I could pray for you as well. Thank you for viewing and sharing these videos. Secondly, I'd like to thank K Productions, Katt and Bill Kersting, for over 10,000 hours of editing, putting together videos, sending them out. At the very beginning, helping me script programming. Amazing. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Katt. Especially during COVID, when we filmed all the masses for the people, when we sent out devotional videos, when we did the candles, when we had Holy Week, without being in presence of each other. I can't thank you enough for sharing that great gift of your talents with the parish and myself. And finally, I'd like to thank Dunkin' Donuts of Jeanette and the corporation that owns those Dunkin' Donuts. They've been a sponsor of OSM from the very beginning. And because of their generous donations, we were able to buy technical equipment, software, and be able to produce the videos that we sent out. And always remember that OSM truly ran on Dunkin'. So, I thank you. This is your host, Father John, signing off. And remember, it's in times like these that we are forged into saints. So let us become saints.